Oh, hey man, it's been a while. Uh, I hope everybody's doing all right. It's Thursday, February 18th. We got hit with a nice snowstorm overnight into today, and it's very white out. Anyway, I'm sure that you have looked at the description. I'm actually going to redo my Yes vinyl collection, and the reason I'm going to do it is because I'm going to do a couple of different things here. First of all, I got a few different items that were added to the collection. Second of all, I wanted to merge all the solo efforts by the Yes alumni, and so I figured I would do that. It seems to make sense because it's such it's not, it's not just this band, the splintered, personnel changes and all kinds of things happen. So it seemed to make sense to do it that way. And it's all good material, so I figured, let me just go ahead and do that. So what the hell, that's what I'm going to do. All right, so, yeah, no John Anderson, Elias Sunhill this time. I got that mellow, spacey, cool shit in the background. So, but anyway, let me get to it. And again, this is the first Yes album. And I remember being kind of bummed out I didn't really get into it, the tracks when I was talking about it in that first video from a few months back. So, I do have like all kinds of paper and stuff in here. What I did was I'll tell you what I did. The CD version didn't come with any lyrics. So what I did was I made a copy of the lyric sheet that came with this import album. So you could fold it into four squares and keep it with your CD. But I made a whole bunch because I have no idea why. I just did. But anyway, this is the first album. Yes, that's what I did. Yes. All right, their first logo. And like I said, it came with this nice lyric sheet. And of course, oops, here it is. Beautiful import copy. It's in mint shape. Like I said, I got it around 79 or 80. I think it was at Ostro's in Somerville. All right, so, but this, you know what? Here, this is a great album. All right, side one, it starts off with Beyond and Before. So if you didn't know anything about Yes, back in 1968 or 69, I think this came out in 60, was it 8? 69. Beyond and Before. Chris Squire, and he wrote that with somebody, Bailey. Then they had a lot of cover songs though. They did I See You by Crosby and McGuinn, Bird Song, I guess. Yesterday and Today, that was John Anderson. And Looking Around, Anderson and Squire wrote that together. How the hell am I going to get through this if I'm yawning already? God. You know what I did? I just did a recording. I'm using a cappella software, and I was trying to record a version of Another Day by Paul McCartney. So I did the guitar and I did 2 vocals, and then I just said, gotta take a break. So this is what I'm doing in my break. All right, anyway, Then Harold Land is by Anderson, Squire, and Bruford. Every Little Thing, Lennon McCartney, right? Really great arrangement. Sweetness, which is Anderson and Squire, and then Survival by John Anderson. And Survival's a great song, a really great tune. So, now we talked about the songs this time. Great songs. Great album. Let's put all these back in here with this. I have no idea why I'm going to keep these, but I will. In case somebody needs those lyrics for their CD, I guess. If you need lyrics for your first Yes CD, I have them. If you want them. All right. So anyway, that is clearly not an original pressing. Here's the repress or the re-release on, I forget what label this is, that decided to reissue this on this beautiful orange, this psychedelic. I don't know, man, this is beautiful. And I just love the replica of that label. And as I said previously, great pressing, nice and clean, sounds great. And it came with the same lyric sheet as my other copy. So I would recommend, if you're into color vinyl, man, I recommend this pressing. This was released by, what the hell was it released by? '50th anniversary edition, limited edition of 6500, cut by Kevin Gray at Coherent Audio. It's neon orange. Now, this is Stoughton tip-on jack. It's old style. I don't know what the hell that means. It's a little sticker that came with this on the shrink wrap, and I was able to preserve it and put it on this plastic sleeve. I keep these things in to protect them, but I have no idea. Manufactured. Oh, Rhino. God damn. Where's their sticker? Rhino Entertainment put this out. I'm kind of hoping that they keep doing that, because I wouldn't mind collecting more of their re-releases. If they keep putting them out in colored vinyl, I'll do it. I wouldn't mind something like this in a smoky gray vinyl. Here's their second album. This is, again, it's not an original pressing, but it's a beautiful copy of a UK import copy. Duh. And it's got the regular Atlantic Records jacket. And this has, see, again, for my CDs, I made a copy of the insert. Where's the insert though? Here it is. Wait a minute. Yeah, that's it. That's the insert. I see what I did. I just put the cool UK album cover, and then I put the lyrics on the back, and that went with the domestic CD that I had at the time, which had a very different cover. So, got it all covered, I guess. Making a really nice insert for that. Anyway, great songs, man. No opportunity necessary, no experience needed. Richie Havens. John Anderson wrote Then. Stephen Stills, Every Days. John Anderson and David Foster wrote Sweet Dreams. Man, what a great song. I mean, John Anderson just, anything that he wrote and touched early on, man, was fantastic stuff. And he really didn't lose it throughout his career. There's very few what I would call clunkers, man. I really liked his output, his solo output as well. It was, I thought, very good stuff. Okay. This is going to take 3 hours. You watch. Okay, there was a hair in there, but now it's gone. Anyway, let me get to it so it doesn't take too long. All right, here's one of the my new additions that I picked up since that last video. And I really wanted to get this. Something's coming, the BBC recordings. Now, there's several different versions or different releases that contain these songs. This one I thought was really cool because it came with a, well, first of all, it's a 2-record set. I think this was an Italian, this is an Italian pressing too, I believe. All right. Check out that cool label. All right. So nice. I'm wondering if it's Italian, it would have that little stamp. They stamp their records. I don't see the stamp. I do see SIAE, but it's not a stamp. Right? Maybe as long as it has that SAIE on it, maybe they don't need to stamp it. I don't know. Anyway, these are all the BBC recordings. And they were licensed out to all kinds of different labels. All right. But I picked this one up. 2-record set. And it and it came with a single. I think it's one-sided. Yeah, with a song on it called For Everyone. Anderson and Squire performed this. Well, they wrote it, but they wrote For Everyone. And it was performed live on a Sunday show back in March 17th, 1970. But what a neat little package. All right. So I love stuff like this. All right. And it's a single-sided record that I tucked away in this little sleeve. You know, nothing on that side. This side is the side with the music, BBC sessions. And so it came with this single with that song For Everyone. It's 4.5 minutes long. 33 1/3. So, but anyway, great songs. I mean, great recordings. There are some songs that are actually performed more than once. So yeah, you have different versions, you know. But it's great stuff. BBC recordings. Beautiful gatefold sleeve. So it tells you the different sessions that they were at. Yeah, Maida Vale, Tuesday at 7, blah, blah, blah. Fly from Frankfurt to London. Oh, it's got all kinds of, it's got their itinerary at one point. But anyway, this is New Millennium. It's compilation 1998 Abraxas. And it was, it's an Italian pressing on Get Back. And starts off with Something's Coming. Every Day's, Something's Coming from that play. Every Day's, Sweetness, Dear Father, which is freaking great B-side. Every Little Thing. This isn't the B-side version. They performed Dear Father on BBC or somewhere. Oh, this was Top Gear with John Peel. All those 4 tracks. Also, Every Little Thing, Sweet Dreams, Something's Coming, Beyond and Before. See, Something's Coming, it's twice. They did it twice. 2 different performances. And then side C is Sweetness with an intro, Looking Around, Sweet Dreams again, then An Astral Traveler. All great songs, man. And side D, Every Little Thing, Every Day's, then, and No Opportunity Necessary, No Experience Needed. These were all recorded in 1969, 1970, BBC Worldwide Music. All right, so anyway, I like this. Sounds pretty good. Pleased with my Italian cousins. They did a fine job. All right. There it is. But there are, like I said, there are different releases. I think there's different color vinyl releases as well. I'm fine with this black vinyl Italian pressing. So, and here we are again. Now I remember talking about this and the next 2 albums. I got these from a little store in Hillsborough. It was actually, at the time, it was a new store. And I was working for AT&T, and I remember coming home to Hillsborough, and I went to this shop. And I walked around, and there were this, Fragile, and Close to the Edge. They were all Japanese pressings. And I remember I thought there was like $7 or $8. Now I remember the actual price for each one was $6.98. Well, the dollar was worth a lot more back then, right? Anyway, these are great. Mint, quiet pressings, beautiful pressings. I spent a lot of time talking about these. I don't need to do that now. The label is just the regular Atlantic label. Nothing too special about it. There were lyric inserts to each one of these. Of course, this one, it didn't really need a lyric insert because the original album came with a lyric sheet, a lyric inner bag, I should say, right? But I put these all in lined sleeves, man. All right, so, all right. No need to really linger on those. Here's my British pressing. The one thing I liked about the British pressing, that I will show, is it's got the lyric insert, but what I liked about it was at the time, the new Yes logo, relatively new, and they put that on the label on both sides, and that's such a beautiful Yes logo. So there you have it. And let's face it, these 3 albums, the Yes album, which came out in '70, and then of course Fragile, and close to the edge. All these first 5 with Bill Bruford. Peter Banks and Tony Kaye were on the first 2. Peter Banks left, and they got Steve Howe to work on the Yes album. And then Tony Kaye left and joined them for Fragile. I mean, Tony Kaye left, and Rick Wakeman joined him. Yes for Fragile and Close to the Edge. All right, then Bill Bruford left, and they toured. And they put an album out called Yes Songs. I don't have Yes Songs. It was my understanding that the sound quality wasn't all that great. Now, I need to get a copy of that eventually. But Alan White joined the band, and I think he had, what, maybe 3 days to learn the songs that they did for the tour, and he kicked ass. He learned that shit. I think he only had 3 days to learn their repertoire. All right. Then their next studio album is this great double album, Tales of Topographic Oceans, and this is sprawled out on 2 records, and it's an album that has it's got mixed reviews from Yes fans, I guess, all over the place. I know that, and I said this in the last video, that Rick Wakeman thinks that this has got way too much fat. But I think this is a really good album. Over time, I got a chance to, to play it and really pay some attention to it, and it does reward you if you just give it a little bit of attention. Like I said, I can't pick out, this part from this particular side, and I mean, it's really a lot of music. You got 80 minutes plus worth of music on here, 20 minutes aside, basically. And it's a lot of music. But when I play it, I really like it. I really enjoy it. And I definitely need to spend more time listening to this album. That's one thing I didn't do, was show you the cool, I don't think I showed you these cool custom labels. Side one. I think they're the same on all sides. Yeah. All right. Beautiful. Beautiful records, man. Because I get tired of seeing, I mean, I love Atlantic Records, man. Atlantic cut, yes. They got Genesis. They got all kinds of great soul acts, of course. And great jazz acts as well. But I get tired of that red and green Atlantic label. I like to see these cool custom labels. And usually I would try to get the British imports. But thankfully here in the States, they use the same custom labels, basically. All right. And in '74, after Tales, Atlantic put out this stopgap release. I remember that the cover was falling apart. I since glued it together. But anyway, Yesterday's is primarily tracks from their first 2 albums, and then there are a couple of other tracks. And came with this insert that had information about each track. All right. Pictures of the people that were on these 2 albums. All right. And actually, that's funny because Bill Bruford drums on all the tracks on here. And the first track is America. Now this is a beautiful arrangement of Paul Simon's song America. It's a 10.5-minute long journey. It's such a great arrangement. And they have a nice custom label with those kids peeing all over the place. America. Then they have Looking Around, Time and a Word, and Sweet Dreams. Those are from their first or second album. I'm not yawning or anything, you know, just looks that way. It sounds that way. All right, then the side 2, then Survival and Astral Traveler. These are great songs. All 3 of those were written by John. All right, and then the last track on side 2 is Dear Father. That was a B-side of, I don't know what, but it was a B-side that was otherwise unreleased on an album until this came out, and man, it's a great song. That was written by John and Chris. Great song, man. But you got to have this for America and for Dear Father. In fact, I spun this a lot because it was such a great compilation of some of the best tracks off those first 2 albums. And then, of course, those other 2 unreleased songs. Well, they weren't easily attainable, apparently. Anyway, so kind of a must-have. It's a great record with, of course, great Roger Dean artwork. All right. Then, of course, Rick, I guess Rick left after Tales. I don't know if he was pissed off. I don't know if that was, if they had some problems, you know, with each other. I don't think that they did. I think that Rick just went off and did some things. Oh, you know what? That's what. See, Rick Wakeman, he put out a couple of nice solo albums, and I have them, and I didn't include them in this. Shit. You know what? Rick Wakeman has an incredible pile of solo material. He probably needs his own. Well, I don't have it all. He needs his own video, right? He did 6 Wives of Henry VIII, and he did Journey to the Center of the Earth. I believe I have both of those on LP. And I just, this is going to be a long one anyway. It's already half an hour, right? Anyway, Rick left. They got Patrick Moraz, and Patrick is on Relayer. And this is a really, now, I don't know, man. I think this is a fucking great album. And this is a special pressing, Friday Music. I picked it up about a year and a half ago when I was at my sister's up in Jersey. And here's this really great Roger Dean label, custom label. It's starts off with The Gates of Delirium. It's one side. The Gates of Delirium is great. It's great. And then Sound Chaser, that's about 9 minutes, and To Be Over is another 9 minutes, and that's side 2. Great album, and a great pressing. Thank you, Friday Music. And here's the lyric insert. This actually isn't the original lyric insert that came with this Friday Music. It didn't have one. The lyric insert this is from the a pressing that I got, and it was one of those club pressings like Columbia Music. Remember those? If you're old like a dinosaur like me, you probably remember like Columbia or BMG Music. And you could order like 12 albums for a penny, and then they keep sending you shit, and you'd have to buy it if you didn't tell them not to send it. And it's like you got stuck in this really weird loop where they keep sending you shit if you didn't tell them to stop. And what I found was that this Columbia Records pressing, or BMG or whatever it was, when I would play the record, halfway through the record, it would start to distort. And I remember looking at the record in the light, and you could actually see like little ridges that started sort of halfway through the album, on both sides too. You could actually see an unevenness, very, very subtle, but you could see it if you held it up to the light just the right way. And that's where this distortion's coming from. I mean, it was really weird. It was just a really poor pressing, a flawed pressing. So watch out for those club releases, because some of them really suck. And the one that I got sucked. So last year, I mean, I had it on CD forever, this album. And normally that's what I would play it on. But I had this shitty album until I got this Friday Music pressing, and I'm real happy with this. I've already played it twice, and it's great. Ah! All right, that's 1974 that came out. In 75, all the guys in Yes, that were still in Yes, they said, you know what, let's do some, let's split up for a year, and we'll do some of our own shit. Do some solo stuff. So here's the first one that I'm showing you. I don't know exactly what order they came out in, but most of them came out in 75 and then in 76. This was a 75 release. Elias of Sunhill. This is what was playing in that last Yes video that I was showing off my vinyl collection at the time. And what a beautiful package, because it opens up. There's actually, here, let's see if I can show you this stuff. The Morglade. So, all right, then you turn the page here, and there's more. It's beautiful. See that? Came with a beautiful inner sleeve that has the lyrics. Beautiful. God. Just a freaking awesome package, man. I mean, it's really nice. And of course, it has its own custom labels. This is on Atlantic Records. 1975. I believe this is an import copy, actually. It is stamped, and it has think it's an import copy. All I know is I love the package. I mean, it's beautiful. And I love the music. That's why I played it on the video from... I mean, it just seems kind of appropriate. And I tried to play it quietly enough so that it wouldn't be a problem. Apparently, there were some publishing companies in somewhere in the Middle East that weren't happy with it. So if you're living in the Middle East, you couldn't watch that video. They blocked it. Since I'm not playing this album, maybe those of you in the Middle East who want to check this stuff out, you'll be able to check this out. They won't be blocking it because I'm not playing this album this time. Anyway, this is a great album. I mean, it's really a fantastic John's first solo record, and man, it was a very powerful release, if you ask me. And he did I think he made all the sounds on there. All right. Of course, Chris Squire put out Fish Out of Water. This is like, I know Darren Locke doesn't like this album. Well, I still like Darren. I don't care if he doesn't like this album. I think he's a nut. But I fucking love this album. This is a beautiful fucking record. I think it's perfect. I think it's like the Lost Yes album. And you got Bill Bruford on drums, and you got Patrick Moraz, and you got the London Symphony Orchestra. And I think that this record is just fantastic. I've had this since high school. Of course, more custom labels, right? Right. And great songs. Hold Out Your Hand, You by My Side, Silently Falling, and everything segues one into the next, so it's really like one long track. Lucky Seven's great, and then Safe, Canon Song. Another, side two is just, oh. Side two is just as awesome as side one. But I absolutely love this album. It is so good. Here's the insert. All right, it's supposed to hold your record, but it's not lined, so I took care of that. And it's amazing because this was a cutout, but I think most Yes fans have an affection for this record that it deserves, because this is a great 5-song album. These are 5 great songs. And if you don't like it, I would love to know what the hell you don't like about it. It's just so good. Chris sings, and he sings great. His singing is amazing. Now, oh, my records fell forward here. I gotta pull something out here. I'm gonna show you something. I wasn't going to show you this, but I'm going to show it to you because like a year or two ago, who put this out? Cherry Red Records went and put together this beautiful package. All right, because my original album's kind of beat up and it was a cutout. Well, you know, Cherry Red thought, you know, a lot of people didn't like this album. Cherry Red thought otherwise, and put this package together. And this is an awesome package. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what's in here. First of all, I got to be careful because there's all kinds of crap in here. First of all, you get this original album. I mean, you get the vinyl album. Beautiful. This is a different mix, by the way. And there are some parts that were sort of mixed down low on the original release. And Jack, I forget who mixed this. I forget who mixed this re-release for Cherry Red. Here, let me pull this out first, though. First of all, it's got a nice poster. Here, I'll show you the poster. What the hell? If I'm going to go through all this trouble, I might as well freaking go do it. So here it is. This will be a long video. The fish. I don't know which way is up or down. Here, see? All right, sorry. I think this is it. And here's what you get in here. Okay. I'm trying to show you what we got here. I guess you could pretty much hang this any way you want. Let's take a look at it this way. I'm looking at it in the camera here. I'm trying to figure it out. Yeah, that might be the right way to go. But I just can't tell. Anyway, I don't hang these posters, man, unless I was going to put it in a frame. Otherwise, I just keep everything tucked away in here where it probably belongs. All right, the LP and the inner bag are identical to the one that I just showed you, so I'm not going to pull that out. That's kind of a waste of time. All right, here you go. You got CD and DVD. Oh, look. That's what, there's your poster right there. So you get two DVDs and you get two CDs. You get, I think you get the original mix and you get the remix. This is the ultimate package, man. Beautiful book. I read this book. This was one of those things. Oh, here. Got the guy's name who mixed this. Jaksic. Yeah, the guy was with King Crimson. But they got this guy to, he was, while he was touring with King Crimson, he actually spent some time trying to remix this. He had the multi-tracks and he was working on it. So I like what he did, man. I like hearing some of the differences, some of the bits that were mixed low or mixed out. of the original release. It's really cool to hear those parts in this new mix. And it's great because this package gives you both on CD. And on LP, it gives you the new mix. Chris Squire. Awesome. The other thing that came with this were these two singles. So you got a single version of Lucky 7 and Silently Falling. Right? Esoteric recording, so, all right. Ooh, should put these away properly. Can do that later. And then Chris Squire and Alan White. Alan Wright's a buddy of mine and a guy I used to work for. Run with the Fox. I think this actually, when this was a single that was released back in '81 by Alan and Chris. And I think it actually had a custom label. Here they just using the esoteric label, so. But anyway, these two singles, replica singles, came with this package, all right? Just wanted to show you that. So that's this package, man, and I think it's really well worth having. See if I can put this away without damaging anything. And I keep it in this bloody piece of plastic to protect the package. All right, here, let's put this away. All right, enough Chris Squire. What a great album, though. And at the same time, Steve Howe put this little package together. Beginnings. Somebody with the initials KRC put their initials in this. I got this secondhand. You bastard. It's a nice album. Probably deserves a proper inner sleeve as well. Nice custom label. This is a good record. I like this, and I think Clive Bunker works with Steve Howe on this album. Clive Bunker from Jethro Tull. I know that. I think Clive he worked on this one, or the second one, or maybe both. Alan White worked with, and Patrick Moraz too, worked with Steve. Yeah, Alan White's on here all over the place. Bill Bruford too, on the last two tracks. Yeah, I'm thinking Clive Bunker. I'm thinking of the second solo album that he put out. I don't have that on LP. I have it on CD. So, and this was also a cutout. You can see there's a little notch down here. It's really small, but it was a cutout. It's almost so small that if somebody didn't write their name on here, I would call this pretty much a near mint copy, because that notch is so little. But I would be fair and I would point it out. All right, then Alan White put out Ramshackled. This is a strange record, man, I got to admit. And I don't think it's a great album, but I probably need to revisit it. There are a couple of songs on here that there's one or two that I really, really liked. And I can't remember. It might have been Darkness. It might have been, yeah, it might have been the last song on the album. It's got this really cool chord structure that I really liked. Just really strange and really just cool. All right, so Alan White. So let's take a look at this, guys. I think he's got a nice, yeah. He's got a couple of, he's got this. This is cool, actually. Yeah, he's got this cool label. All right. Here's the other side. That's side 1 and side 2. Cool. Pretty cool, actually. So, yeah, Alan White's got a cool record here. And not only did he have this with some credits, some cool pictures, this great inner insert that good luck reading it. Alan White's great. Alan White is great, man. I met him back in '94 when he was touring Talk album, and he was just so mellow. He was so chill. But I did get his autograph. I met him at something that the radio station was holding. My buddy Dennis Duncan. I miss Dennis Duncan. He got tickets. He won these tickets, and he brought me along to see Yes, do the Talk album, and I got to meet Alan White and oh shit, can't remember the guy's name. Trevor Rabin. Friggin' retard that I am. Trevor Rabin and Alan White were bopping around the crowd before the concert, and I got a chance to get their autographs and talk to them for a couple of minutes, and that was pretty cool. Anyway, so these guys put these albums out back in '75 and '76, these solo records, and when they finally got back together in '77, they put this record out. They got Rick Wakeman back. Alan White was still with them. Steve Howe, and you know it's the classic lineup, man. Well, no Bill Bruford, but it's Alan White, Rick Wakeman, Steve Howe, of course, John and Chris. I actually had the whole tour booklet for whatever tour this was with, and I took it apart and I dismantled it and hung some of this stuff up in my locker like a dipstick. So the tour booklet is no more, but I still have this little piece of it left. I really should put this in its own inner sleeve, a lined sleeve. Anyway, custom labels for this album as well. And a nice lyric sheet. This looks like Hypnosis. Was it? This looks like Hypnosis did this. And it's a trifold. It's really elaborate trifold, but oh shit, I got all kinds of crap. Yeah, this is just a mess. I'd like to get a nice import copy of this. Probably hold together better. And look at this trifold freaking thing. Here, I didn't do this last time. Look at this, right? Look at that elaborate inside cover. And here's the outside of it with that stupid guy in his ass. Who wants to look at that? I don't need to see this guy. Whoops. Hello. This is the proper way to fold that up. Anyway, it's a great album. Going for the one. This is a great album, actually. Yeah, it really is. Going for the one, turn of the century, parallels with that really cool church organ that he phoned in, basically. They used the T1s to nail that track down. Wondrous Stories and Awaken, a 15-minute epic, Awaken. I love it. So this is a really good record, but this is slightly beat up, man. I did play it quite a bit, man. I loved it when it came out. And it's a good album. It's just a little bit beat up. The record itself is actually in pretty good shape because, man, I took care of this stuff. I knew what I was doing when I was a kid, taking care of these albums. I didn't touch the record, and was real careful with it, with my whole collection. So these things, they remain in really great shape. Although this one's a little beat up. All right, anyway. There's that. One of the new additions to my record collection, to my 12-inch collection, is this. Wondrous Stories and Parallels, and it is a blue vinyl import. It's funny because Genesis released a blue vinyl EP in Canada right around the same time, 1977. Spot the Pigeon. This is an import from England. All right, that EP was that Genesis EP, Spot the Pigeon, was in blue vinyl. It was a 12-inch blue vinyl record. Was released in Canada. This is an EP. This is a single. Released in the United Kingdom in 1977, which is when the album came out. All right, so anyway, a special limited edition in blue vinyl. I guess colored vinyl was kind of new back then. Actually, I don't believe that's true. I think there were actually some albums that came out, and in fact, I think it was RCA Victor back in the 50s. They actually had it like a color scheme to, like, red was like jazz and blue was like something else. The genres were labeled by different colors when they put those 45s out, or those 7-inch EPs out. So I guess it really isn't new. But in the mid-70s, late 70s, it was kind of rare. And so they put this out, a special pressing. And it's in great shape. Got it off of somebody from Discogs. All right, then this great album cover, Tormato. This is a British import as well. Man, I've already gone an hour. I've gone an hour. This is going to be a long video. All right. This album, when it came out, man, it wasn't. It was such a different sound. It didn't sound like classic Yes, for sure. But I've since played it not too long ago, and I kind of dug it, man. Nice package, anyway. I think the album cover itself is kind of oddball with that splattered tomato on there, but I do like the inner sleeve, and I do like some of the music on here. You know, it's cool to look back and reassess a record that you weren't really keen on when it first came out. If you sometimes giving it another chance, you have a little different perspective on it, and this actually is pretty good. I kind of skipped past Bill Bruford's solo career, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to backtrack just a few years. This came out in 75, I think, or 76. Oh, 77. 77. This came out in 78, I think it was, or 79. Oh, well, it doesn't matter. Anyway, Bill Bruford's, I want to backtrack and I want to hit up Bill. And I'm just going to show his 4 solo albums, or 5 actually, that I have. Feels Good to Me is great. This is a great record. His first solo album, he was with King Crimson for a while. Put out Red, they broke up. And then he spent a couple of years trying to figure out what he was going to do. And he ended up putting out this album in 77. Feels Good to Me. And he worked with... Oh, shit. He's got some great guys, man, on here. This is a really great import copy, too. I got this brand new. You got Annette Peacock that he worked with. She sang some of the songs. She contributed vocals, man, in her beautiful way. Annette Peacock is actually a friend of mine on Facebook, but I don't think that she knows who I am. But she did accept a friend request, and I have communicated with her just, you know, a little bit on there. Oh, yeah, let me put this back. Polydor Records, okay? And that Peacock, boy, she's pretty awesome. I have a couple of her solo albums too. Anyway, yeah, this is Bill Bruford, Dave Stewart on keyboards, Alan Holdsworth on guitar, Jeff Berlin on bass, and Annette Peacock on vocals on several of the tracks. And I love this album. It is a really fucking fantastic record. And Bill's just brilliant on here. There are a few other guests. Kenny Wheeler plays flugelhorn on 1 or 2 tracks. John Goodsall adds guitar to Feels Good to Me. Neil Murray is a bass player when I needed one, he says. And Val Joseph plays, he was a Polymoog consultant, Val Joseph. All right, so, but what a great album. Produced by Robin Lumley and Bill Bruford. So Robin Lumley, from Brand X fame, And look at this, just that gong. Bill Smith, you've got to love this album. Just because it's got a gong on the cover. All right, so that's Bill. Let's put that over here. Oh, see what I just did wrong. And then a year or two later, Bruford put this album out, One of a Kind. And this became the name of the band, actually, Bruford. And it's got the same people, Bill Bruford, Alan Holdsworth, Dave Stewart, Jeff Berlin. Annette Peacock did not contribute to this album. There's very minimal vocals on here, actually spoken vocals. This is a great instrumental album. It's one of my favorite instrumental albums of all time. One of a kind. And Alan Holdsworth is so his style of guitar playing is so prominent on this album, and it's just fantastic. And of course, Bill's drumming, and Dave Stewart and Jeff Berlin are great as well. Everybody kicks ass on this record. Here's the crew. Man, what a great album. Okay, it ain't Yes, but in a way, I like this album better than any Yes album. This is one of my favorite albums of all time. It's probably in my top 10. Brand X is up there too, with Phil Collins on the drums. Anyway, Bruford, Bill's second solo album, but that's actually the name of the band at that point. Now I picked this up, man. Rock Goes to College, and the sound quality on this record isn't all that terrific. This was recorded back in the UK at Oxford Polytechnic, March 7th, 1979. So that's why I put it right after One of a Kind, because the two albums represented on here were those first two albums. With Annette Peacock actually joined them. All right, so sound quality isn't the best on here, but it's really nice to have this record and to have these performances on this LP. BBC production. Man, I'm sorry, but I am tired. I shouldn't have done this video, but I'll just keep on keeping on. Here's the Bruford tapes. The sound quality of this is really subpar, I hate to say, and maybe they realized that because they sold it. They said the retail price is $5.98. This looks like a bootleg on purpose, I'm sure, because the sound quality is not that great. And just look at that record, the Bruford tapes. The other side looks the same, huh? Right? All right. This came out in '79 as well. And I just wish they had a better sound system to record the damn show. All right, and then the last album they put out was Bill Bruford, Dave Stewart, Jeff Berlin, and the unknown John Clark. There's no Alan Holdsworth, and it suffers for that reason. And plus, just the actual songs, the actual compositions, just, I need to spin this again for the hell of it. Just check it out. Anyway, that's my Bruford collection. Now we get back to Yes Proper. Yes Shows. I didn't have Yes Songs, but I did have Yes Shows. And regular Atlantic Records labels. But this is actually a pretty good album with a really good selection of stuff. Selection of songs. Gates of Delirium is side 2. And you got Parallels, Time and a Word, Going for the One, side 1. Gates of Delirium, side 2. Side 3 is Don't Kill the Whale and Ritual, part 1. So they actually went back to Tales of Topographic Oceans. Rituals, part 2 is the start of side 4, and then Wondrous Stories. They close with that. And I think I did mention I played it probably one time and probably never again, but it's not because it's a bad album, it's just because I have so much music to listen to. All right, so meanwhile, John Anderson continued to put out solo records. Put out Song of Seven. Some good songs on here. I'm going to just let that play again because I really don't like to be in here with no sound. It's really unnerving. Anyway, Song of Seven is a pretty good record. On Atlantic. Got a lyric insert. Actually, this is the where you put the record, but of course I have the outline sleeve. All right, so you got the words with this. This is on Atlantic. This came out in '80, I think. 1980. And John also worked with Vangelis. They put out an album out called Short Stories. Vangelis played all the instruments, and John contributed the vocals, and I probably wrote all the lyrics. Yeah, it's actually a promo that I picked up. I gotta admit, man, I don't know if I've ever really even listened to this record. I probably spun it one time. This is on Polydor. But I have it anyway. Here's the album Drama. This was released, I think this was This came out in '80 as well. And I was looking for it before I started doing the taping of this video. The actual, yeah, 1980. This is why John was not real busy, because they had a falling out. So you got Trevor Horn to sing, and he played some bass too, and then Jeff Downs, keyboards and vocoder. And then you had the other guys, Alan White, Steve Howe, and Chris Squire. And there they are. Now, I picked this up not too long ago, and man, I really enjoyed this album. Comes with this, whoops, this inner lyric insert, and it doesn't have a custom label, but it is a British import, which I really can appreciate. I really do like getting these imports. Some of these lined inner sleeves are faulty, and that sucks. Here, I got it fixed, I think. Yep. Nice, nice package, man. And boy, it's in beautiful shape, near mint, real clean. The album's real clean. No creases, no problems with the package itself. Just a problem with me putting it back in the cover, which is what is great, because it adds all that freaking time to my videos. Here, I love this. I love this package. Drama. But how weird to have a version of Yes with no John Anderson. That was really odd. Yet it's a really good album. It's a good studio album. Problem is, audiences weren't really keen on having Trevor Horn. They wanted John Anderson. So it was a short-lived group. Meanwhile, John was still putting out his own records. In '82, he put out Animation. Now, I really thought that this was a great record. This is actually an import from the UK. It has a nice inner bag with the lyrics and with all kinds of credits and stuff. John Giblin, Morris Pert. So you got people from Brand X working with him. Back in '81, I didn't have anything else to do with Brand X anyway, so Jack Bruce is on here. Dave Lawson, Ronnie Lee Leahy, Brother James, Billy Christian, Brett Morgan, Blue Weaver, Ian Wallace, Delmay String Quartet, John Giblin, Morris Pert, and Brazil Idiots. All right, Animation on Polydor Records, and this is a really good, clean copy. Nice UK import. And actually, he put a single out from this album called Surrender, and it had a B-side called Spider, a non-album track. And here is that beautiful record. Surrender and Spider. All right, so when he put this out on CD, there was a company that released it on CD, and they added that track Spider as an extra track. But I'm not sure if that was an authorized release or if that was somebody pulling some sneaky move. But I have this anyway, so what do I care? I do have that CD too. All right. Yes, put out 90125 back in 83, I think it was. Yep, 1983, with owner of a lonely heart. Owner of a lonely heart. This has some great songs on it. This was actually where Trevor Rabin came in to the mix, and it changed the sound dramatically. And they were going to release this album. They were going to record it and release it, but they contacted John Anderson, who was off doing his solo stuff. And John liked what he heard and came back and worked with these guys. And I'm real glad that he did, because, of course, it's nice to have John Anderson's beautiful voice on these tracks. And Chris Squire, Alan White, Tony Kaye were working on this as well. And then they didn't have Steve Howe. Steve Howe was, maybe he was just working on his solo material and didn't want to come back. So they got Trevor Rabin. I guess that's how Trevor Rabin got involved. I'm not sure how. Anyway, Trevor Rabin was a big star in South Africa, but he became a bigger star when he began to work with Yes, and he contributed his amazing sound to this album, and it's a good album. Here's some awful 12-inch singles. They're horrible mixes. I can't listen to these, but I do own them. All right. Leave it on here. Leave it on here. Yeah. Here's another 12-inch single that has the Hello Goodbye mix, Leave It remix, and then Leave It a cappella. I think the a cappella mix might be the interesting one on here. Those 12-inch mixes that they came out in the early to mid 80s were just horrible. I don't know. I wasn't into them at all. All right, Big Generator is the second album that has Trevor Rabin on it. And I don't think this was quite as good as the first one, but it's still got some good stuff on it. That came out in 84, I think. And then John decided he wanted to put out a Christmas album, and he put out 3 Ships. And I really like this. This is a perennial favorite of mine. And I actually picked it up before it ended up in a cutout bin. So here's my copy of the album. It's on Electro Records. And it's in mint shape. All right. And it's so Christmassy. Look at that, huh? You can't get more Christmassy than that. And it's really good. And he got a lot of good people working with him on this album. Since I'm at a risk of running 2 hours or more, we're going to try to do this rather quickly. All right. There's a little, one of his kids actually sings Jingle Bells at the end. It's really cute. All right. So John Anderson's Christmas album. And here is a Christmas EP from those sessions. It's actually 3 tracks from the album. There's nothing unique that's or exclusive to this record that's not on here. But I wanted to pick that up because I like the package. All right, and back in, I think it was 88, John released this. Okay. There wasn't a lot going on with Yes at that time. So he put this out on Columbia in the City of Angels, recorded in Los Angeles. What a surprise. City of Angels, right? Man, I remember when this first came out, and I thought it was fantastic. And then I listened to it a few years later, and I was like, I don't know, man, this is so poppy. But, and I didn't appreciate it the way I did when I first got it. But then I listened to it again, and I liked it. So Jeff Porcaro on drums, Mike Porcaro on bass, Dave Pace on keyboards. He worked with a good bunch of people. John Robinson on drums too. So he worked with a few different people, man. And it's actually pretty good. It's actually a pretty good record. I played this not too long ago. Well, a couple of years ago, I think I pulled this out and played it. And I really, really dug it again. So there was a slickness to it that maybe I wasn't too keen on, but then I liked it. And I liked the cover too. All right. Then in '89, Anderson, Bill Bruford, Rick Wakeman, and Steve Howe got together, and they released this studio record. Now, this was new. This is new to my collection. I picked this up since the last video, and this is I think this is a British import of an original copy of it. All right, there are a couple of different issues that came out, a couple of different pressings, and I thought this was nice, so I picked it up. Nice inner sleeve. The lyrics. Like I said, it was not my favorite album, but I did play it after I bought it, after it arrived. It was from somebody off of Discogs, and I did play it, and it was all right, man. I wasn't offended, okay, by it. It was okay. A couple of years later, the Union album came out. This is that same awesome Canadian pressing that comes with an extra track. It's not even listed. Oh, Angkor Wat. It is listed on the label, but it's not listed on the sleeve. 5 minutes and 20 seconds too. It's a real long chunk of music, so they really squeezed the music on here pretty tight. And I don't know if you remember, but this is a really cool amber colored record, as you can see. See? Yeah? Pretty cool, huh? So, and again, the Union album, this is a studio record. They got everyone back together. John, Bill, Steve, Tony Kaye came back, Trevor Rabin came back, Chris Squire, Rick Wakeman, and Alan White. So you got 2 drummers even on here. And, but it's not my favorite Yes album by any means. But I wasn't as offended by it as I thought I might be when I played it. Maybe just because I was excited to have the record, I don't know. Sometimes I think that might be a factor. Maybe that's pathetic, I don't know. Here's that Talk album. All right, we're almost done here actually. So maybe this will just be another 10 minutes, 5 or 10 minutes. This album has Trevor Rabin on it as well. No Steve Howe. It's got Tony Kaye on it, Alan White. So it's Anderson, Squire, Rabin, Kaye, and White. And it's a cool double album. It's got these cool labels. Here, I'll just pull it out. Real heavy vinyl. Really nice labels, custom labels. And side 4, the first 3 sides have everything that's on the CD. And then side 4 has a special 8-minute version of The Calling. All right. And I'm going to show you the insert that comes with this because it's so beautiful. I know I showed you this in the last video, but I'm showing it to you again in this video. The lyrics over here. You got some more text to read about this. So this is a re-release on vinyl, and it's beautiful. It's a beautiful package. All right. Music on Vinyl, MOV. This was really, really worth it. The song Walls is an excellent track and was actually co-written by Roger Hodgson from Supertramp. Then I picked up Open Your Eyes. Crappy, dusty stuff on here. This was a beautiful German pressing, I believe. Yep. Serena Records. This vinyl edition, 2012 Serena Records. So I did pick this up just last year, along with Talk. And this is on this beautiful red vinyl with these really cool custom labels. And I really enjoyed these the songs. I thought that this was kind of a throwback to almost to the classic Yes. I was really, really digging this. except for the last track, which has one song and then lots of like 15 minutes worth of just sounds, which I thought was bizarre. The Solution. It's actually one song, 23 and a half minutes, almost 24 minutes, really. But it's a proper song for about five minutes, 4, 5, maybe 6 minutes. It fades out and then comes back in with just sounds. Maybe that's the solution, all those sounds. I don't know. Anyway, beautiful, beautiful record, beautiful pressing. And for the most part, I really liked it. Here's the ladder. Another beautiful package. This is, again, music on vinyl. Absolutely gorgeous. Man, I clean my records and yet they still get dusty. But beautiful, beautiful label. I just love the, I really appreciate the packaging. And the quality of the pressing is fantastic. Came with this beautiful lyric insert. All right, with the cover. And let's see what's on the back. Yeah, some credits. But here's all the words. All right. It's not scribbled out like in some bad handwriting, so you can read them right. And it's beautiful. Came with these lined inner sleeve, inner record inner sleeve, and I remember showing you this. Right? You can see all kinds of cool stuff on there, right? Cool stuff. Cool beans, as they say. Okay. Just making sure that stuff doesn't get caught in that crease when I fold it up. All right, so music on vinyl version of the ladder. And like I said, man, the pressing is so clean. And I really dug this music. I remember when I got home and I opened up this package and I put this on, man. It was in the summer. And I loved it. It's really, really good. All right. All right, and then the last one that I showed in the last video is magnification, and this is another, I think it's another German pressing, yeah, Serena Records. Another beautiful pressing on lilac vinyl. And it's real clean, and Magnification is a pretty good album. I like this record. I like this music. This is a 3-sided album. There's nothing on the 4th side. All right, when I say nothing, only a custom label that says Serena, but there's nothing else there. There is a moon on my ceiling. Look at that. All right. So anyway, this is what I had the last time I was showing off my Yes collection, and this is where it stopped. Now I have, Yes put out all kinds of other material. This originally came out in, when was it? 2001. And then they put out a few more releases, but only on CD, and I have them. But on vinyl, in 2012, Chris Squire and Steve Hackett got together and they put this record out, Squack It. It sounds so stupid when you say it. But anyway, Steve Hackett's one of my favorite musicians. He's a hero. And Chris Squire is too. So for these two to get together, and they enlisted the help of, who was it? Roger King, who worked with Hackett. So this might have been more Hackett driven. Amanda Lehman, I think that she had an association with Steve as well. But I'm not sure. Jeremy Stacy on drums. So anyway, a few other people. String players on Life Within a Day, Christine Townsend, violin and viola, Richard Stewart, cello, Dick Driver on double bass. So I think that's everybody on here. This was released by Cherry Red Records back in 2012. And here it is. Beautiful record. And it was great that Chris and Steve got a chance to play together. I know that they had tremendous respect for one another. At least that's what Steve Hackett says, and I believe it. Steve Hackett seems to be one of the most coolest, nicest gentlemen on the planet. Just a great guy. And I absolutely love his output. All right, so that's 2012. And the last item, we're rounding it up now. Fly From Here. This is Return Trip. So this is, they put out Fly From Here, and it had, oh shit, who was the singer? It was one of the later Yes vocalists. I can't even remember the guy's name. I have it on CD. But then Trevor Horn went back and reproduced it, remixed it, and he contributed his vocals on here. And of course, it's this beautiful picture disc. Fly From Here, The Return Trip. Not Fly From Home. But anyway, very playable, very quiet picture disc that I got from Burning Shed Records. All right, there is one release that I don't have. That was the album before this, and I can't remember what the heck that was even called, but I have that on CD. Anyway, this is my vinyl collection. This wraps it up. And included everything, including most of the solo stuff. So if you stuck around for an hour and 45 minutes, you are one hell of a buddy. So we're done here. Have a great day. And it was nice talking to you. See you. Bye.